helplessness is your best friend, savage.
Feminist Frequency's Ordinary Women campaign keeps kicking ass despite harassment.
You know what, I'm going to make this video fairly interesting. For the week that this video is uploaded, for every view to the nearest 100, I will donate £10 to the Amazing Atheist's Ordinary People Daring to Help Women campaign. For every like I will get, I will donate a further £5, and for every subscriber that I get for this video, I will donate an extra £1. And also, for any of Anitas' bum kissers who downvote this video, I will also take away £5 away from it. So if you're one of Anitas' bum kissers who immediately downvoted this video because I'm being critical and insulting your beloved goddess, you've just done something to hurt women all over the world.
2 weeks ago, Feminist Frequency launched a crowdfunding campaign for Ordinary Women, our new video series about incredible, defiant women throughout history, and we're pleased to say that we're on our way, having raised over $73,000.
Man, who would have ever thought that being a woman could be so profitable?
From more than 1,200 supporters so far.
I'm actually fucking amazed there are people still supporting Anita Sarkeesian. What, it's been 4 years since she did her initial Kickstarter that she raised near enough, what was it, 28 times the amount that she needs, and she still hasn't properly finished it yet. What's taking her so long? These aren't particularly complicated videos, it's just her sat in front of a green screen for about an hour, chewing out the same feminist rhetoric I've been hearing since pretty much I started this whole YouTube series.
Your generosity and enthusiasm mean everything to us, especially in light of the pushback we get every time we speak up or speak at all.
I want to know what it's truly like to live in Anita Sarkeesian's tiny little world, where every negative connotation means that she's being oppressed. Last time I checked, the oppressed don't have a chance to say that they're oppressed, and furthermore, the oppressed don't usually have a chance to make over $1 million talking about how oppressed they are.
My team and I are making Ordinary Women in part because we were so inspired by the stories of these incredible women, who defied not only the social norms of their time but also the abuse, harassment and threats that inevitably greet women whenever they step out of the limited roles that have been assigned to them.
You know what, Mom? You know what I'm going to get you next Christmas? A big wooden cross. So every time you feel unappreciated for all your sacrifices, you can climb on up and nail yourself to it.
While some things have changed over the years for women in some places, we know firsthand that this has not.
You largely seem uninterested in helping anybody other than yourself and lining your pockets.
When we launched the project, we knew that it was going to put a target on our backs.
You know what, if you're so worried about online harassment, why didn't you do some airfix, or get a boyfriend or a girlfriend, watch some movies, play some video games? Jesus Christ, every time that they receive any negative feedback, it's always online harassment or help, I'm being oppressed. Come and see the violence inherent in the system. Jesus Christ, it's the same old song, same old dance. This time it's getting more stupid each time they do it.
And that the online harassment directed at us was likely to spike again.
May I point out, Anita Sarkeesian thinks that online harassment consists of people saying that she's a liar and she sucks. Well, guess what? I think she's a liar and she completely sucks as an individual. She sucks so hard that even under the low standard of feminism, that she completely and utterly fails. Why? Because she doesn't seem to be interested in helping any other women apart from herself and maybe Zoe Quinn.
Unfortunately, it has.
You know what, Mom? You know what I'm going to get you next Christmas? A big wooden cross. So every time you feel unappreciated for all your sacrifices, you can climb on up and nail yourself to it.
Being the target of a sustained harassment campaign over 4 years, I can see the patterns.
You know what, Mom? You know what I'm going to get you next Christmas? A big wooden cross. So every time you feel unappreciated for all your sacrifices, you can climb on up and nail yourself to it.
Their playbook is always the same. I've talked extensively about how harassers think attacking women is a game.
You know what? I think Anita Sarkeesian is projecting all of her insecurities onto her detractors. Now, do I think there are some people who think that harassing Anita Sarkeesian is a game? Probably. Personally, I'm not harassing Anita Sarkeesian. I'm being critical of Anita Sarkeesian. You know, she's the one who says that I have to be critical about the things she loves, and honestly, I believe you should also be critical of the people that you hate. Heck, I don't even hate Anita Sarkeesian. I have no respect for an individual. But anyway, moving on.
And how they weave convoluted conspiracy theories to try and sow dissent, or how they work up a mob into denying women's experiences and professional expertise.
First of all, that's completely hypocritical. You have gone out of your way to sow dissent, to the point where you've actually not helped the video game industry, you've actually drew a huge wedge in between it, and declared anybody who disagrees with you as a sexist, harasser of women, and somehow wants to keep all women down. And second of all, women don't have a collective lived experience. They have individual identities or things that happen to them in their lives. Just because one person doesn't like you doesn't mean that they hate all women, nor does helping you meaning that they're helping all women. At best, it's just you being a selfish prick.
This time is no different.
You know what? 4 years of online harassment, I use that in the broadest context, where Anita Sarkeesian, for the aforementioned telling that Anita Sarkeesian sucks, is online harassment in her opinion. Well, guess what, Anita Sarkeesian? You completely suck. And you can kiss my hairy ass if you don't like it.
In response to our new project, a very vocal, known harasser who has spent years attacking feminism and individual feminists on YouTube.
She's talking about TJ Kirk, aka the Amazing Atheist, which, yes, he has spent years talking about and discrediting certain feminism and ideas of feminism, what it claims to be and what it actually practices, which seems to be at times, you know, we want equality, meanwhile they're drinking from their male tears cup, wearing their male tears t-shirt, talking about how all men are rapists, and then going off and thinking about Christian Grey and how amazing he is and how getting wet under their pussies.
Has launched a counter-fundraising campaign specifically designed to both discredit me and mobilize his viewers to abuse me further on social media.
I'm sorry, but that statement is a load of horse shit. TJ Kirks, aka the Amazing Atheist, who I will just call him the Amazing Atheist from now on, just for brevity, Kickstarter or crowdfunding is not made to harass you or discredit you or do anything about you. All it is about raising money for women who actually fucking need it. You know, women who, don't have the same opportunities to go to university, talk about how sexist video games are and get paid more money than most people can spend in several lifetimes. You overly piece of shit, liar, hypocritical douchebag.
I'm greeted every day with new digital diatribes laced with conspiracy theories that call me a fraud or a con artist and spin elaborate fictional stories about my supposed schemes to manipulate and cheat people.
Well, if you don't want to be called a con artist or you're taking advantage of people's good nature, well, guess what? Stop acting like a con artist and stop taking advantages of people's good nature. You'll be surprised how quickly your detractors or people who just don't like you will be quiet.
One gentleman decided to email every one of my campaign backers individually to tell them his theories on why I am a horrible individual and they should not support my work.
Well, you are a horrible individual and nobody should be supporting you, so I don't see anything morally wrong with that. Personally, if it was up to me, you'd actually be wearing a t-shirt saying, I am a horrible person, please ignore me.
Seed and Spark has to temporarily shut down their messaging service for the duration of my campaign.
You know what, Mom? You know what I'm going to get you next Christmas? A big wooden cross. So every time you feel unappreciated for all your sacrifices, you can climb on up and nail yourself to it.
Another man with far too much time on his hands has contacted my friends.
I'm actually shocked. Anita Sarkeesian actually has some friends.
Peers, colleagues, people I haven't talked to in over a decade, and anyone he thinks might listen with what appears to be an ebook of smutty erotic fiction that he authored starring me.
Anita Sarkeesian, you're a public figure. Now, and the second thing is that there's something called Rule 34 that you should know about if you use the internet for any long periods of time.
While I have no interest in driving more traffic to this harassment by linking to it,
because as we all know, linking to Amazing Atheist's video or Kick's crowdsourcer would actually humanize it and make it less like you're talking out of your ass, and also prove that you're wrong, because as we all know, proving you wrong is somehow harassment of women.
There's nothing surprising about this behavior.
You know what? You want to use the internet, there's always going to be downsides to it. You have about an estimated 2.5 billion people using the internet of various degrees of social grace, political ideology, social standing, and sanity, that you're going to get people doing batshit crazy things. And that's one reason why I love the internet. Anita Sarkeesian, probably, for me, Anita Sarkeesian wants to turn the internet into one big platform so she can talk on her soapbox about how oppressed she is, while meanwhile making more money than most people would make in 2 years of talking about how oppressed that she is.
It has become the background radiation of my work.
Well, that's the most debatable statement you've ever made, that you're working. You've released maybe, what, 3 of the 12 episodes of Troth vs. Women in video games over a period of 4 years. I'm sorry, but there are films that have cost less than that have been easier to make than what you're doing. And all you're doing is sitting in front of a green screen and talking about how video games are sexist. That is not hard work. Heck, even I probably could do it if I had the inclination to buy checkered shirts and knew how to use a green screen.
And for some women, our entire lives, and that's a reality that we think is worth acknowledging and understanding, not just because it is terrible, but because it's exactly why it's so crucial that we keep going.
You know what, Mom? You know what I'm going to get you next Christmas? A big wooden cross. So every time you feel unappreciated for all your sacrifices, you can climb on up and nail yourself to it.
Much like Lewis's law, which says that the comments in every article about feminism justify feminism.
That's stupid! You're stupid! Stop being stupid!
The vitriol that we encounter simply for being visible.
You're always going to have detractors. It's the price that you pay for airing your opinion on the internet. And if you're expecting every person to be nice to you, you're gonna have a problem, because you have freedom of speech, which also does entail freedom to be an idiot or a jackass or racist or homophobic or transphobic or any other negative connotations that you can think of.
Outspoken women is the surest sign that this work is necessary and important.
You keep telling yourself that, and one day it actually might come true.
We believe that context is important.
Oh, that's rich coming from you. You have no bones about cutting out all the context that you can just to make what you're talking about seem more homophobic, transphobic, sexist, racist, and prejudiced than it already is, which is 1,000 million squillion trillion than it already is. Because as we all know, Anita Sarkeesian is always correct.
That in order to make meaningful, structural changes in the world, we need to both celebrate the successes and accomplishments of women and acknowledge the disproportionate barriers and abuses they had to face to achieve them.
Yes, and as we all know, Anita Sarkeesian needs almost $250,000 to do it.
That's how we wrote about the women in this series, and it's how we want to talk about ourselves as well.
Oh, brilliant. That's what we need. More narcissism.
If I've learned anything from the stories at the heart of this project, it's that small-minded, insecure people have always trailed behind women who want to change the status quo, and tried to tear them down.
Now, personally, I don't want to degrade or destroy Anita Sarkeesian. What I'd like to see Anita Sarkeesian do is debate some people, like Christina Hot Summers or Milo Yiannopoulos, to name two.
The women in our series lived in different times and accomplished very different things, but all of them achieved greatness because they refused to give up when faced with slander and intimidation.
Unlike you, who seems to be more interested in doing the impersonation of the dirt farmer from Monty Python's The Holy Grail.
Shut up! Ah, now we see the violence inherent in the system. Shut up! Oh, come and see the violence inherent in the system! Help! Help! I'm being repressed!
When told to be smaller, quieter, and more submissive, they decided to make themselves louder, bigger and more defiant. So will we. And we hope their stories will inspire you the way they've inspired us. Learn more about our new video series Ordinary Women, Daring to Defy History at Seed and Spark.
On the off chance you're watching this, all I can say is fuck you and kiss my ass, and I hope you give as much, and to anybody watching this, I hope you can give as much as you can to the Amazing Atheist crowdfunding. I'll post a link of it in the description. Anyway, bye, and I'll see you in my next video.